Right then, Manchester United completely bottle a 2-0 lead against Copenhagen. That turns out us losing to be 4-3. Now, the Rashford sending off, we need to address that first because for me, it's not a red card. I think that's the most controversial moment of that football game because that changed the game and it shouldn't have because Rashford got sent off. For me, it wasn't a red card and I'll explain why. Because Rashford was dribbling with the ball. He goes to shield the ball, which a lot of defenders do to protect the ball. He put his foot down, because he has 2 feet and he needs to balance himself. And the Copenhagen player goes to attempt the challenge and Rashford puts his foot down on the player's ankle. And yes, slow down, on pause, it looks horrific. It does look like an ankle breaker, but there's no vicious intent. Rashford is completely unaware of the player's positioning and it's a complete accident. It's an absolute joke. You even saw the Manchester United players when the red card was given. Everyone was in complete disbelief, and all rival fans and all biased people towards Manchester United will probably say, "Oh, that's a clear red. That's disgusting what Rashford's doing." But when does Rashford ever actually go into a challenge like that? That probably explains why he backs out of every fucking 50-50. Because if that's the outcome, he gets sent off. But at the end of the day, we've got to be honest. I mean, VAR is ruining the game, and VAR's been around for nearly half a decade now, and it's not improved. It's actually gotten worse. The rules keep changing. It's the same Muppets that are still actually involved with VAR. And you know what? The ref, I don't know, it was such a weird performance from the ref because it was like playing against 12 men when we went down to 10. Every single decision went Copenhagen's way. That player who elbowed Rasmus Højlund in the face, who was already booked, nothing was touched. The third goal we conceded, which went out for a corner, it wasn't even fully out. Now, I don't want to be that fan who's making excuses, but if you want to look at the Newcastle game, that ball was closer to being out than the ball went out for the corner. And I promise you that now. I wanted VAR on that to see that if it was out or not. But guess what? It doesn't go our way as per usual. Manchester United, I don't know even, I've lost count how many times Manchester United have been actually ridiculed and abused by VAR this year. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if they're just punishing us back to the COVID season where Bruno Fernandes just got a bunch of penalties. But it's not fair. It really isn't fair. And Erik ten Hag, I blame you because the decisions you made, it made no sense. You're sticking with Diogo Dalot. I don't understand this obsession with Diogo Dalot. Wan-Bissaka's back now. We don't need to play Dalot anymore. Wan-Bissaka's back. He's the better right back. But guess what? Dalot's been all right while Wan-Bissaka's been gone. So let's reward him. Let's put him at left back. I know he's all right at left back. I know he had a good performance against Saka in the Arsenal game at the Emirates. But we still lost that game. He played all right. But there's still over 10 other people on the pitch for the opposition team. But that third goal as well. What was Dalot doing? Didn't even look over his shoulder once to see what the player was doing. It was a piss poor performance from Dalot today. And for me, he was our worst player on the pitch. Again, the guy is so inconsistent. I like Dalot, but he needs to just be out of the team. I'd rather Amrabat back at left back or play Reguilon, or hopefully Luke Shaw is back after international break this weekend. But it's draining. Now, mathematically, United can still progress in through the Champions League and get to knockout stages. But Galatasaray, let's talk about Copenhagen. These are supposed to be the Whippet boys. We made an hard work of it at Old Trafford winning 1-0. We made massive hard work of it tonight. We were 2-0 up. We didn't know how to defend. It was from set pieces and crosses into the box that caused us that. The fourth goal was just terrible from Varane and Maguire. I like Maguire of recent times. He's been playing really well. Varane, that's his first game back in a few games after he's been just no appearances from Varane. Varane did look really off as well. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. But it's just the fact that it's another loss. We've now lost 3 of our 4 Champions League games. And the only one we won was Copenhagen at Old Trafford. People might be saying the Champions League over. It practically is. I mean, Bayern Munich have qualified now, so if they want to go put out a youth team and make the group stage more competitive, they can do. Right, and if they want to lose, they can do. I don't think Bayern Munich are that type of team. They probably want to win every single game and go unbeaten in the group stage. But at the end of the day, you know, it's in Bayern Munich's hands whether they want to beat Copenhagen in the next game and beat us at Old Trafford in the last game of the group stage. But Rasmus Højlund, that's probably the only positive we can take from today. Give him the service and he proves it. Give him that service and he proves it. I mean, in the Premier League, he's got 0 goals. In England, he's got 0 goals, 0 domestic goals whatsoever. But he doesn't get the service. Today, a beautiful pass from McTominay and that ball from Wan-Bissaka to McTominay, French kiss, or chef's kiss is what it's called. But the pass from McTominay to Højlund, beautiful goal. But Højlund, before Rashford got sent off, had 3 chances on goal. All 3 were on target and 2 ended up as goals. Give him the service. We've signed a young 20-year-old striker who's being moulded into a complete striker, whatever striker he can want to be. He's got the mentality, he's got the speed, he's got the physicality, he's got so many attributes. He can be a complete striker. Give him the service. Yes, he can't really create much by himself, but he's only 20 years old. He shouldn't be our main striker. I love Højlund, and what he's doing is brilliant in the Champions League. That's 4 goals in 4 games for him. Like, Harry Kane's done that this season. Is he on par with Harry Kane? Absolutely not. But statistically, he's got the equal amount of goals as Harry Kane has got in the Champions League. So, Champions League form is a completely different beast. But I just want to see against Luton, because I watched that Liverpool game against Luton the other day and Luton had a lot of chances exposed and Liverpool should have capitalised better. They had like an XG of 4 goals and they just didn't put any of them away apart from that Luis Diaz goal right at the end. But I'm going off a tangent here. But we need to create more for Rasmus Højlund because the proof is in the pudding. Look what he does. He scores goals. He's not a Vegas. He's not a Martial. He's an actual, proper goal scorer. Bruno Fernandes, a decent performance for him tonight. I mean, a lot of pressure to make it 3-2 with that penalty. But just as the game went on, we just completely bottled it defensively. And that's been our issue. I mean, I feel like Onana could have done better on the 3rd goal. It was his near post, but it was more on Dalot's fault than it was Onana. But majority of the defence were at fault for the goals tonight. It was a poor game defensively. And where do we go from here? Obviously, we've got Luton on Saturday. It's going to be another tough game. Obviously, it's international break, but what's Ten Hag actually got? Hopefully, we've got some injuries coming back. But, you know, with Martinez and Casemiro expected not to be back until after Christmas, apart from Luke Shaw, who have we actually got that's due back? No one at this point, I don't think. So at this point, Erik Ten Hag has got a lot of work to do. We know this. It's another game that we leave the match with more questions. Is Erik Ten Hag trying to get himself sacked? Taking off Højlund was absolutely pathetic. Sticking with certain players, the tactics, it's all over the place. I'm not Ten Hag out because with the cycle repeats itself. And people saying Erik Ten Hag out, clearly you side with the Glazers and you back the Glazers because obviously you agree with them sacking all the previous managers and now you want them to sack this one and you just want us to just be on the hamster wheel and just continually stay in the same circle whilst the motion is moving. But I back Erik Ten Hag all the way. But something does need to change. Rashford being suspended in Champions League, I mean, it's a straight red card, so that means he'll miss the 2 games. Is that a positive? Maybe, but that means we'll probably bring Anthony back. So that isn't really a massive positive, is it, to be honest? Unless Palestra gets given a chance, which I think he should have been tonight. I think Palestra should have played tonight. Amrabat should have been brought on as soon as Rashford got sent off for Eriksen, in my opinion. But Erik Ten Hag waited till half time when we went 2-2. So there you go. That could have been completely avoided and actually had a defender or a defensive midfielder in the midfield. But Amrabat again didn't have a good performance either, I don't think. But gutted, emotional. There's other words I can describe, but they're not currently PG. But right now, disheartened is probably the best word to describe the way I'm feeling. but we'll probably have a deep dive into it. We should be having Webber on the channel tomorrow, so no doubt we'll talk about where it went wrong tomorrow in tomorrow's show. So check out that if you have made it this far into the video. Subscribe to Rollers TV if you are new on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching and have a good night.